I feel like we're already rocketing through 2025.
Really?
Yeah, just rocketing through it.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Just rocketing through.
Could you explain what the hell you're talking about?
Time accelerates, is what I'm telling you. The more experience you've had in life, the less each single moment registers in your brain. So time actually accelerates. By the time I'm done speaking, we'll all be dead.
I don't want to die with you. No offense.
It's the worst thing anyone's ever said to me. What a terrible thing to say.
Just my wife, my daughter.
Oh, come on. They've seen enough of you.
You may be the death of me.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
No, I just think 2025 , man.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
We're just starting. We haven't
it's
done
just
anything.
beginning.
Okay.
It's just starting.
2025.
Yeah.
We're a quarter of the way into this century.
That's crazy.
That's madness.
We're in like a sci-fi year. 2025 sounds like a future year.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I used to think that the year 2000 sounded like a long time. This is when I was a kid.
Yeah.
People would talk about the year 2000. And then we did a bit, Robert Smigel, he came up with this idea for a bit called Year 2000, which we did in 1988 at the Victory Gardens Theater in Chicago. And then a couple of years later, when I got the late night show, we did it on the late night show in the year 2000. And still in 1993, it's getting a little squirrely then, but the year 2000 did feel like this kind of funny, distant future. And then I'll never forget, it was 1999 and we were getting close to the year 2000 and we were doing the bit in the year 2000 and we didn't know what to do.
I remember this.
We didn't know what to do and we were thinking, what do we do? And we were thinking maybe La Bamba could sing, "In the distant future."
Oh, weird.
And we were like, no. And then we said, we're just going to stick with "In the year 2000."
And you talked about this on the show, right? Because I remember watching this. Yeah.
And then, sure enough, Sting would be on the show and it would be 2005. And I'd say, hey, maybe we should look to the future. And Andy had left at that point. So Sting, I'd do it with like whoever the celebrity was. And Sting would come through the curtain and go, "The future, Conan?" And I'd say, "Yes, Sting." All the way to the year 2000. And it's 2005. Talk about, we just didn't deal with it. And so, but I remember when I was a kid, there was a show on starring Martin Landau, and I think his co-star was Barbara Bain. I think it was a show that was made in England, and it was called Space 1999.
Oh.
And it was the same thing where it was the 70s, and this syndicated show would come on, and this is back when nothing was on television, and so whenever something came on, you watched it. And I remember thinking, oh, wow, Space, 1999. And everyone on that show wore what looked to be like what they'd give you to wear on first class if you were going on a transatlantic flight. Everybody, and I thought...
Somehow mixed with tennis leisure.
Yes, exactly. So I just thought, in the future, we're all going to be very comfortable. And we're going to live on the moon. And the future, of course, came along, and cars kind of looked pretty much the same. They didn't rust, but they kind of operated the same. There's still a steering wheel. You're still driving on the same roads. You're not up in the air like they told us they would be.
Real difference is that radio just turned to podcasting.
Yes, exactly. The only thing that really changed, all this stuff they told us, ray guns, we're going to be living on different planets. None of that happened. No one talked about, you'll have a personal computer in your pocket.
That's a big one.
And it will also be yes, but none of us thought of.
No.
If you
Star
were told,
Trek kind of did. They had their little like.
Oh, Spock had a tricorder.
Well, I'm famously I'm a Star Wars guy.
Okay, well I'm a Star Trek guy.
Okay,
and what I love is that Spock had
neither one guy.
Spock had.
I'm a not nerd guy.
Spock had what looked like a maybe an AM FM radio.
Yeah.
But it had a little screen on it. And whenever they would go on the planet, it was a device that just did everything called a tricorder or something.
Tricorder,
and he would just be like, they'd be like, "Spock, what's up?" And he'd go like, "Well, according to my tricorder, we're going to have a conflict with a major character in about 8 minutes." Basically it could tell you what you're having for lunch.
Yeah.
it could supply whatever the writers needed it to supply.
Have you ever heard about in the Phantom Menace, the first Star Wars prequel, Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, has this
First of all, I could have finished this whole sentence for you. But yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
What?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes.
Even I know that.
Isn't it?
There's no normal names in any of the names.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
It's Qui-Gon Jinn.
Who's popping the cores?
Meet Glimglorp Henry. And Scalia Bow Wow Sally. Anyway.
Well, he has this little machine to test Anakin's midichlorian count. Don't get into it. And it's made from a woman's leg razor, shaving razor.
Wait a minute. So George Lucas just said we need a device.
And
I just took this from my wife's shower.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty great, huh?
What year was Back to the Future? The Future. What year was that?
That just happened recently. Blay, you've got to know.
Wasn't it? You've got to know.
I do think it's 2023, maybe.
Right.
But I wanted to bring up, there's another thing, the sonic screwdriver. Nobody here is a Doctor Who fan, right? Because I'm a Doctor Who fan.
I wish Harrison Ford was here right now to tell you to shut the fuck up. You just took us down.
That's also a thing that does everything. Eduardo?
It was 2015. That was
2015 was when we were supposed to have hoverboards.
10 years ago.
Come on, we really dropped the ball.
I think there should be a Senate investigation into why we're not flying around, because
Blade Runners also happened time-wise too, right? Because they had flying cars in that.
No, every future sci-fi movie, I mean, now they're smart enough to say, in the year 4572, they've picked a time when clearly humans will no longer be on the planet.
Alien was always good about that. They were far, far into the future.
Early sci-fi, if you listen to old radio shows, they're like, that were made in the 1930s, they'll say, by 1948.
Yeah.
And my favorite is, I listened to one once where they called robot was still a new word, and they called it ribbit.
Robot, yeah.
Ribbit. There'll be a ribbit. And the ribbit will be a mechanical man who
named Qui-Gon Jinn.
Named Qui-Gon Jinn, who will open the mayonnaise can for you. It was all very pedestrian.
Well, I will say, Eduardo
here we
just
go.
looked up the movie Her, which is Everybody Has an AI Girlfriend, takes place this year, 2025.
And we kind of do all have AI
We're
girlfriends.
finally getting a mistress then. Huh?
Really? Oh,
What?
wow.
Huh.
What are you talking
You
about?
don't talk to her about her that
it's
way.
a victimless crime.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
He had a really special relationship with
but
that
he didn't cheat on
AI.
any, but not with another person, and that's allowed. The Bible allows an exception if it's an AI girlfriend.
Oh, come
The
on.
Bible doesn't say thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's AI image. The Bible, we got around the Bible finally. I can covet all I want.
Ugh.
As long as it's made of pixels and hexels.
Oh, God.
What, did I get something wrong?
Yeah, hexels?
Did that cover it?
Hexel.
Mixels and glaxels?
Let me
Okay.
just refer you to this rap sign.
Oh, look at that. It's handwritten. How quaint. Clearly, you've not visited the year 2000.
Oh, no.